When did reporting your boss get you arrested? The police arrested me at my apartment at 6:15 a.m. on a Friday morning in early November, 3 days after I filed a formal OSHA complaint against my supervisor at Riverside Distribution Center. I was still in my pajamas when 2 officers knocked on my door, showed me a warrant, and told me I was being charged with felony theft of company property valued at over $50,000. Detective Frank Kowalski read me my rights while his partner searched my apartment, looking for stolen electronics and inventory that I'd supposedly been taking from the warehouse for the past 6 months. I stood in my living room in shock, trying to process what was happening, while they photographed my belongings and confiscated my laptop. When I said there must be a mistake, that I hadn't stolen anything, Detective Kowalski told me the company had surveillance footage, inventory records, and witness statements proving otherwise. He said my supervisor, a man named Craig Donovan, had been documenting my thefts for months and finally reported me when the total reached felony levels. I was handcuffed and taken to the county jail, booked on charges of grand theft and embezzlement, and held on $75,000 bail that I couldn't afford to pay. I'd worked at Riverside Distribution Center for 3 years as a warehouse supervisor, managing a team of 18 workers who loaded and unloaded freight trucks 6 days a week. The job was physically demanding and the pay was modest, but I'd been good at it, receiving positive performance reviews and even a small promotion last year. Craig Donovan had been my direct supervisor for the past 14 months, hired from outside the company to improve efficiency and reduce costs. From the beginning, Craig had cut corners on safety procedures, pressuring workers to move faster, to stack pallets higher than regulations allowed, to operate forklifts without proper certification. I'd pushed back multiple times, citing safety protocols and OSHA requirements, and Craig had dismissed my concerns every time. He told me I was too cautious, that we needed to meet productivity targets or the company would start laying people off. When workers started getting injured with increasing frequency, I knew I had to do something. In the past 6 months, 12 workers on my shifts had suffered workplace injuries ranging from minor cuts and sprains to serious incidents requiring hospitalization. A man named Luis Gutierrez broke his leg when an improperly stacked pallet collapsed on him. A woman named Jennifer Park suffered a concussion when she fell from a loading dock that should have had safety railings but didn't because Craig said they slowed down operations. 3 people developed repetitive stress injuries from being forced to work without adequate breaks. I documented every incident, took photos of safety violations, recorded the dates and times when Craig explicitly ordered us to ignore safety procedures. When I tried to report the problems to human resources, the HR manager told me that Craig had full authority over warehouse operations and that my job was to follow his directions, not question them. So I went above the company and filed a formal complaint with OSHA, detailing the systematic safety violations and attaching my documentation as evidence. The OSHA complaint was filed on Monday afternoon. By Thursday evening, I received a terse email from Craig summoning me to a meeting with him and the company's operations director first thing Friday morning. I assumed they'd found out about the OSHA complaint and were going to retaliate, maybe write me up for insubordination, or try to intimidate me into withdrawing it. I'd prepared myself for that confrontation, ready to stand my ground and cite whistleblower protection laws. Instead, the police showed up at my door at dawn and arrested me for crimes I hadn't committed. Sitting in a jail cell that Friday afternoon, waiting for my arraignment hearing, I understood that Craig hadn't just retaliated. He'd destroyed me. A felony theft conviction would mean prison time, a permanent criminal record, and the end of any career in logistics or warehouse management. Even if I was eventually acquitted, the arrest itself would follow me forever, showing up in background checks and ruining job prospects. My arraignment happened Monday morning. I stood before Judge Margaret Leland in an orange jumpsuit, exhausted from 3 nights in jail, while a prosecutor named Aaron Klein outlined the charges against me. He said that Riverside Distribution Center had discovered systematic theft of company inventory dating back 6 months, that surveillance footage showed me removing boxes of electronics from the warehouse during night shifts, and that inventory audits revealed over $52,000 in missing merchandise that I'd been responsible for securing. The prosecutor said I'd been selling the stolen goods through online marketplaces and pocketing the money. He characterized me as a trusted employee who'd betrayed the company's confidence and stolen from my employer while in a position of responsibility. He requested high bail, citing me as a flight risk with access to stolen funds. My court-appointed attorney, a young public defender named Lisa Moreno, argued that I had no criminal history and strong ties to the community, but the judge set bail that made the situation a lot worse. To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel.